All right, set number 3 on Mines. The Immortals leading 2-0 against the Silly Ducks. Can the Silly Ducks stay in this match? We'll have to see. But, I mean, look at that. The Immortals going with the same tank lineup. They love those heavy tanks, man.
We almost don't even have to tell you guys. Without looking, you can probably guess that the Immortals are going to take 5 heavy tanks. Yeah,
they really like those heavy tanks. I mean, even though they're not as mobile as other tank lineups, I mean, if it comes to close quarter combat, nothing can compare.
Yeah. And just looking again at the map, like you can see, we were talking about this, they're probably just going to take the hill. They're going to stagger here. They're going to go behind these little rocks and just try to get some good pot shots and then maybe go for a rush up the hill.
Yeah. Yeah, so they haven't pushed up fully onto the hill. I mean, you know, looking at the tank's lineup, they could have just brute forced their way through the hilltop. But they are kind of just staggering, like you said, it's just staggering just a little bit behind, and it actually gave the Silly Ducks Revolution, you know, more control of the hill.
Yeah, and actually a bunch of shots going out here. Immortals taking a bit of damage, 2 shots going out to 2 of their tanks.
Yeah, so Catan and Zavange here taking just a little bit of damage. They are going to try and retaliate that, but Catan in a little bit of trouble, taking down to about 60%. Oh, but they managed to take out an AMX-15.
And that's what it is. They have so much firepower. Yeah. All 5 tanks fired at that one tank, and it blew up.
Yeah, pretty much instantaneously, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vayne also in a little bit of trouble here. He's backing up. He's down to about 50% health. He's in that T69. And yeah, luckily, wisely, he does back out from that. But the Immortals continuing their push.
I mean, Silly Duck Revolution, they're just not responding well to this. They keep going into these firefights where they're down on firepower, down on health, and just getting taken out one by one.
Ooh, but a T32 gets taken out on the Immortal side. Same with the T1. So, although 2 tanks do get taken down on the Immortal side, it is fairly even right now. But another tank does go down on the Silly Ducks Revolution side, a T69. So now the Silly Ducks in a little bit of an upset right now. They did lose 2 of their tier 8s, and the Immortals, they gotta push this advantage. They're gonna push this advantage.
Yeah, they definitely are gonna push this advantage. Again, you can see on the map just coming together as 4 now. It's not 5, but now it's 4 heavy tanks, and they already took out 2 of the tier 8s for the Silly Duck Revolution. They're just gonna keep on pushing this.
Yeah, they're just so good at those close quarter combat situations. They just love to go in, focus down one tank at a time, and pretty much any tank, the tank that they focus pretty much goes down instantaneously. We saw that early on in this third set, and another one goes down on the series. Look at that. They just focus their fire so well.
That's what it's all about. They use all their guns and focus it on one tank, and once they get the numbers advantage again, they just keep pushing. Yeah, that was a nice try by Silly Duck. They tried to flank and distract the Immortals, but it just didn't quite work. Yeah, all of them just turned around and shot that tank and killed it.
And you know, like what we saw this one time where, you know, even though one of the Silly Ducks tanks was so low, like probably one shot, they still ignored that tank and went for the other tank they were all focusing. And the last tier 8 tank does go down on the Silly Ducks Revolution side. Only 2 T1s now remaining, but there's absolutely nothing the Silly Ducks can do on this complete onslaught coming out from the Immortals. And what a match, man. What a one-sided victory, man.
This was so one-sided. They didn't even drag it out. Like, now all 4 of these tanks are going to take the enemy base. It's a definite win. This is a 3-0 for the Immortals. And before last week, we didn't even see these guys. They put up such a great fight to that experienced team, and now they just destroyed the Silly Duck Revolution here.
Yeah, I mean, the Silly Ducks, they've been around since the open season, and, you know, even back then, we were like, oh, this team is pretty good. You know, the Silly Ducks Revolution, they're gonna make it quite far, and they did make it pretty far in the open season, and even in this first season as well. You know, they've made it to the Masters League, and they're definitely not a team to be reckoned with. But I mean, the Immortals.